download images. Welcome friends, today in this live stream we will be building a project here which inside Node.js and Express. So in this project we will be enabling, we will be encoding and decoding images from Base64 to images, and also we will be encoding images into Base64 code. So this will be a project we will be building in this live stream. So I will be live coding. So if you have any sort of questions, you can ask in the comment section. So this is a library inside Node.js, Node Base64-image. So I see 3 people have joined in. So please first of all like the stream. So we will be encoding this. We will be using this module Node Base64 image. So you can see it has got 5,000 weekly downloads. So we will be using this module here. So first of all, guys, what we need to do is that will be creating a Node.js project. So I will be inside my projects directory. I will open a new directory here. So I will be going into the code dash. So this will open inside my Visual Studio Code text editor. So you will see. So let me just close this. So I will make a new directory. So this I will call this as Node Base64 project. So I will also deploy it inside Heroku at the end of this tutorial series. So I will cd into this Node Base64 project. So I will open this inside my Visual Studio Code text editor. So if you have facing any sort of problem, you can ask comment in the comment section. I will try to reply you. But before that, please like this live stream. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. So here, first of all, guys, we will initialize the empty package.json file npm init-y. So this will create the package.json file for our application. So you have see package.json is created. So it is containing the basic information about the project, which is name, version, description, index.js. And here I will try to install this library. So first of all, I will show you a very basic demo on how to use this library. So you will see this is a library named Node Base64 image. So simply I will download this. So we will say npm I node base64 image. So just execute this command. So it will install this command into your package.json. So you will see it has successfully installed this Node Base64 image. So one other dependency you can install globally, which is npm I-g nodemon. So this will restart your server every time you make changes to your application. So now inside the same directory, just make index.js. So simply after this, guys, we will import this library. So now to encode images to Base64, we will make encode variable, and we need to require this library, which is Node Base64 image. You can see it is coming here in the drop down, and it contains 2 methods. First is encode, so we will encode it, and the second one is decode. So we will also try to require this also, Node Base64 image dot decode. So now we have successfully imported all the variables here, encoding and decoding. Now we simply need to make a function here which will do the processing, and inside this we will first of all try to encode the image to Base64 code. So this is very easy, guys. So we will try to take a URL here from the internet. So I will make a URL variable, and simply I will go to my website freemediatools.com. So you can take any image of your choice from the internet. So you will see this is the image here. Simply right click, copy image address, and simply you need to paste it this address here like this. And now we will try to encode this image. So this is very simple here. So as this is the async function, if you try to read the documentation, you will find out what I'm talking about. 2 likes are there. So please like the video if you haven't like the stream. So you will see this is the documentation it gives us. So simply you will copy paste this from this for encoding it. So now first of all we are providing the options string to true, headers, user agent, my app. So just do that, and then we are using the encode method. You will see we imported it passing the URL of the image and the options, and after that we can console log the base64 code which is image. So now if you try to run this code here, so it hasn't executed because we haven't called it the function, which is now we need to call this processing. So now if you run this, it will try to print out the base64 code here. So now you can see it has encoded this image into this base64 code, a long string. You can see that. So we can also store this inside text file inside Node.js. So this is very easy. If you try to do this, you will require the built-in file system module. So we need to require it file system, and there is a method inside it which is write file synchronously, and inside this you will pass the file name. You can call this anything, base64 txt, and then just pass the image, the content to be written. And now if you run this, so in the left hand side, just check, it will create a file, txt file. So if you run here node index.js, so now basically it will create this base64 txt file, and it will contain this base64 code here. So simply you can have this inside a text file also. So this is the thing, guys. And now we will do the reverse process. If you want to convert or if you want to decode this base64 code to a actual image, you can also do this also. So this is very easy. If I just after getting the base64 code, if you want to convert this to an image, which is decode the base64 code to image, this is pretty simple. We will use the decode method here. So if you go to the documentation, you will find this code here. Simply paste it. Again, we are using the await keyword because we are here inside async function. So await decode, and then we are passing the base64 code, which is image, and then we are giving the file name, which is example.jpg. You can change this name to image.jpg. So now if you run this, it will convert this to an image and store it inside your root directory. So now you will see it will create this image.jpg file here. You will see, which is the actual image which was encoded to base64. So this library can also encode it to base64 and also decode the base64 code to actual image. So this thing provides the two options that you need. So at this moment, if you have facing any sort of problem, you can ask it inside comment section. So this is actual library which is used to do this. And now we will turn this into a Node.js Express app by installing Express module npm i express. Then we will say EJS Malter for uploading image files to server. That's it. So install these three dependencies, and if you want to download all the source code, I have given the link in the video description of my blog post. This is a blog post. So just go to the video description to download all the source code. And you can see all the dependencies are installed here. So inside package.json, this is the EJS Express folder. So now we need to convert this to a Express application. So we will delete all this code here and start from scratch. So we will say const express. We need to require this const app express, and then we will say the port number on which the app will be running. So process.env.port. If the port is not available, then run on 5000. So app.listen, We will listen on this port number, and in the callback we will say that app is listening on port 5000. And now basically if you just see, we will say app.get. If I open the home route request response, we will say response dot render index. And we also need to set the view engine, which is EJS. So app.set view engine dot EJS. And now inside the root directory we need to make the views folder, and inside this we will say index.ejs. So here this will be a boot HTML file. Here simply change the title Base64 decode and encode in JavaScript. And let me just try to check if it is working or not. So if I run this node-mod index.js, so it will start this application. You can see it is listening on port 5000. And if I just say localhost 5000, so you will see the application has started here at port number. You can see that this is a port number 5000. And now inside this we will try to import Bootstrap. So from w3schools.com you need to import, just copy the CSS part. After the title, paste it. And here we will be using the container class of Bootstrap. And then inside the center position, the heading, we will say Base64 decode and encode. And then we will have the simple form here. The action will go to, first of all, encode. And I will show you how to encode the images. And inside this, we will say input type file. And name will be file. And this should be required. And label, which will be, it will be simply upload file. That's it. And here we will be giving a form group and container class. Try to wrap this. This is a Bootstrap class here. And also we will be giving a form control to this widget. This is again a Bootstrap class. So now if you refresh it, you will see this is the heading and this is the input file. If you click it, you can select image files here like this. And now we simply need a button here. So after that, we can again say form group. We will say btn danger, btn block, encode image. So this will have a red color attached to it. So you will see encode image. So now the UI is complete. Now we simply need to make this post request, which is encode. So the method will be here post encoding type multi-part form data, because we are uploading files here. That is why this parameter is necessary. So after this, we need to make this post request. But before that, we need to also import Malta dependency, which will be uploading files from the server. And we need to make a folder here, which is public folder. Inside this, we will make uploads folder. So here we will be storing all the uploaded files. So here we need to set this folder as static. So we will say express.static public/uploads. That's it. So after setting it, we also need to have body parser middleware. So just write this lines. So whenever we are working with forms, we need to write this line middleware dot URL encoded extend it to false. Body parser.json, that's it. So now we need to configure the Malter library. We need to tell it that we need to upload all the files inside this folder. So for doing this process, if you just search on Stack Overflow, Malter upload, including extension of file Stack Overflow, this will give you a complete answer. So Stack Overflow is a great website for programmers if you want it. This is exactly the code that I need. So I will just paste it here. So here we will pass the directory substructure where we need to store the file. So it is public/uploads, public/uploads. And here we will be the file name. If you just see, I think we need this. Whatever extension the file name is, we need to store it. So we will write this line, which is this. So all the source code at the end of this live stream, I will embed this inside my blog post. So don't worry, if you are not following the tutorial, you will be able to download all the source code. So after having the storage, we have passed this storage to this Malter constructor. And then we can say we need to upload a single file, and then we will give it the name attribute, which is file. That's it. We have given this inside this, you will see name attribute. That's it. Now we need to make that post request, which is app.post/encode request response. And then we need to first of all upload the file. So we will say upload request response error. If any sort of error take place, we will just check it inside the if block. And then we can say on the console that some error occurred in uploading the file. And then we can exit out the application, and in the else block we will just say console log request.file.path. So we will just print out the path of the uploaded file. So now we can check the application. It has auto restarted the application. If I try to upload an image file, let me select this file. So you will see PNG file is selected. If I click encode, so it is saying extension is not defined. Let me just see. Oh, it is need to be path.extension name. So we need to require the path module, which is a built-in module. So require it. After that, use the extension name function and try to file.original name. That's it. Write this line. And now the application, it is saying path has already been declared. So let me see. Oh, let me just delete this line. So now if you try to again select this file, image file, click and try to check, you will see it will display the path here of the uploaded file. This is, it is appending two dots, dot.png. Let me see why it is doing that. I think we don't need this dot here. Simply remove this dot and now try to upload this once again. And let me delete this from here. And let's suppose we again upload the file. Click the button and now hopefully it has uploaded this. You will see this is the image file which is uploaded right now inside public/uploads. So now we have done the hard part. We have successfully uploaded the image file inside the directory. Now we simply need to encode this. Up till now, if you have any sort of problem, you can ask in the comment section. So now we simply need to upload this, convert it to a base64 code here. So we will require this library, which is base64, sorry, encode. So we will require it. encode, and inside this we will call a function which will encode image or do process image, and we will pass the path which is request.file.path. So here we will make this function which is async function. We will get the path here like this. After this, if you check the documentation, so you can see this is the documentation. So simply you need to copy and paste it inside this function. Instead of URL, we will pass the path. That's it. So now we will return, or let me first of all console log the base64 code, which is image. So if I refresh it, if I select this image, let's suppose this image, click encode. So it is saying process image is not defined. Oh, sorry. Let me change the method name because we are calling process image here. So let me once again repeat the process. Select this image, encode image, and so I think it hasn't done that. Let me see. I think we don't need to pass this header here. Let me don't pass this options here. Simply I need to encode this image like this. So don't pass the options and try this thing again. I think we need to pass the full URL here. So you will see current URL is this URL. So if you just see here localhost 3000, and if I just copy this URL and paste it here .png, so hopefully I will see the image. Let me restart the server. So you will see this is the image which is uploaded because we made this directory at static. So I think we need to pass the full address. So we need to make a modification here inside this path. We need to append http localhost 5000 slash and then this like this, and we don't need to pass the full path, we only need the original name property, that's it. So I think this time it should work. And if I try this, let's suppose once again if I go to localhost 5000, Oh, I think we are not providing that options array, so we need to provide this options. Put a comma and provide these options. Let me just see if it is. I think it is not doing it. It is I think it is only limited to the files which are uploaded to the internet. You should need the URL. So in this case, it should only print out the images which are hosted on a particular site. So if you take this URL, it should only do this. So this should take the URL here. So we need to pass this URL. So now you can see it is emitting out the base64 code. I think this is only limited to URL. So if you have an image which have a particular URL on the internet, then only this library will work. So I think more libraries are also available, which is if you search on image npm.js, I think this is also a module here, which is lets you do this. So I can download this module, which 45 weekly downloads are there. I think this is a good library. npm I image2 base64. So if you install this module, hopefully it should do the job for us. So just import this module at the very top. And simply, we don't need this function. So simply paste the code here. So simply you need to replace with the dynamic path here, which is coming request.file.path. Hopefully it should emit now. And if I refresh the application, hopefully it should choose file. And now you can see it is emitting out this base64 code. And now we can store this inside file system dot write file. So we can const file system require it. So this is a base built-in module. So we can use write file sync and here we can just say output date.now. So every time we will be giving a dynamic name. So output.txt. So here we can just say the file name will be output and the content will be response. After doing that, we can download this file as an attachment to the user, which is output. And then we can say the callback file is downloaded. Let me do this. So if I select this, click encode. So you will see this txt file will be downloaded and now it will contain this base64 code of the image. So this is an online tool that we have developed here, which lets you encode the image to a base64 code. If I select a different image, so you will see this is again a base64 code. You can see that. So in this easy way, you can develop this application base64 encode. And similarly, if you try to provide a file which is for decode, it is pretty simple. For decode, we will have a second form which will be similar. Form method will be slash decode, and again the method will be simply post, and encoding type will be multipart. In this we will only be uploading a file, so we don't need encoding type. So again we will copy paste this code here, copy it, paste it. So here we will say upload base64 code file. So here we will say decode image. So now if you open this, there will be two forms available to us. So if I try to hit this, I need to make a post request which is decode. So for this it is very simple. We will say app.post slash decode. Again we will use the same upload middleware function. We will try to first of all upload the file. So if any sort of error take place, we will say console log error take place, and then we will return. In the else block we will say uh, we will console log request.file.path. So if I try to check here, and if I upload this image file, txt file, click on decode, now you will see, hopefully it should decode it. What happened? Let me just see. I think we can only have one form at particular moment, so I should comment this line here. Let me delete this, and once again if I slash, oh sorry, I think we should also have to have multi-part form data attribute attach. What happened? Let me just see, guys, why it is not uploading it. Form method. Oh, sorry. This needs to be sorry, action. So this was the problem, guys. So let me also, this needs to be action, and we can also include encoding type. So hopefully it should now upload this. So now you can see it has uploaded this txt file. If I check here, you will see this is the file which is uploaded. Now we simply need to decode this to actual image. So we can use that module which we have installed. So we can require this node base64 image, and inside this there is a decode method. So include this line, and here we will use this. Let me make this function as async function, and here we will say await, and we will use a decode method, and inside this we will pass, first of all we need to read the content. So we will say read file sync request.file.path, and this will be base64 code. And here we will pass this base64 code, and if you read the documentation, this is a, so you will see this also contains this parameter. So simply copy this, paste it. So this will create this file here, and let me have a random name. So we will say date.now output. So now we will replace this with this file here, file name, which is output. Extension will be JPG, and that's it. So at the end of this we can download it as attachment. So we will say output plus JPG, and we will say file is downloaded. So now if I try to run this application, hopefully it should work. So it is saying await is only valid in async function. Oh, let me make this async right here. And now you can see that, guys, it has converted this to a JPG format. Let me see why it has not. Let me console log base64 code. Read a file in Node.js text file. Let me see the syntax here. Read a text file, how you do it. Oh, this argument I need to pass here, which is the second argument, which is put a comma here and UTF-8. So just write this UTF-8, and now try to run this application. And now you can see that, guys, it has converted it successfully to an image. We are reading this base64. You can upload any sort of base64 and it should try to decode this also. You can see that to actual image. So we have seen both the scenarios. We have seen how to decode images from base64 code and how to encode images to base64 code. So we have developed this to a express application, and if you have any sort of doubt, you can comment on this video, and all the source code regarding this application will be there inside video description. So please like this live stream, and thank